All right, ladies and gents, would love to break this down fully and have a nice little calm, relaxed intro for you. However, this is Alpine, and this map gets crazy. So if you're unfamiliar, you start with a horse on this map, and there's boars in a ring throughout. And there's only so many of them. The players are looking to steal the boars as quickly as possible. Jordan's going to bring in a boar from this side. Jordan also simultaneously bringing in a boar on this side. Jordan's playing as the Chimera, and you'll notice that he's left these two boars here, which is smart thinking because those are going to be hard boars for Barles to take. And Barles doing a similar thing, bringing in a boar from here and bringing in a boar from here. So both players should end up getting 4 boars. So that's actually a pretty calm start here. We'll see if Jordan wants to take a little bit more risks with it. Magyars for Barles, and then Chimera for Jordan. But guys, this is a best of 5 that determines who goes to the quarterfinals. The loser here will be out of Warlords 2. I've been quite busy. Some of Warlords happened when I was on my hiatus at the conclusion of streaming on Facebook, and then prepping to move to Twitch. Had a bit of an anniversary thing. We've got a holiday next week, so I think my coverage of Warlords will be this, and then the finals. I'm pretty sure that's my structure, my plan with life and all that good stuff for Warlords. So it hasn't been an event that I've covered in its entirety, that's for sure. But obviously, going to bring to you the best commentary I can and all the details you need to know on it in the build-up. And both these players have won 2 rounds and lost 2 rounds. That's the way this structure works. And if you lose 3 rounds, you're out. If you win 3 rounds, you move on. And so we've got some players already in the quarters, waiting to see who they may play against. And one of these players will move on. Barles had fantastic showing, and has really this year. He looked really good in Titans League as well. And this is funny. What is Barles hoping to accomplish with these walls? I think... Oh, he's trying to de-aggro the boar right now. That's what he's trying to do. Oh! Oh, Jordan! Shoot it! Yo, what a play from Barles! Okay, now the boar dies. Okay, so that was high-level play all around. Jordan walled in his villager because he wanted to lame the boar. He wanted the boar to die in an inefficient position. And Barles basically bopped a palisade right on top of the boar. And if you go to build something where a boar or a deer is, it'll like lose whatever it was thinking about before. It'll reset basically. And that reset is what allowed Barles to bring it that far. But then thankfully Jordan, for him anyways, he was able to get the kills. Now, Jordan's going to gold right now, and he's on the way to feudal age. This would indicate an archer build. Notice where he's gone for wood. He's actually left the hill, and he's walked a little bit further for a better wood line. That's not common, actually. I actually played quite a bit of Alpine. It hasn't been recent. I played one game recently where a lot more villagers died in Dark Age. Let me just say that. And the player I played against, it was training for him, is definitely watching. So we'll see if he pokes his head out in front of all the masses or if he's going to just hide from people. But anyways, I don't think I've ever seen someone go for the early lumber camp here, but the more I think about it, the more I like this. This can be something that becomes quite awkward later on if you don't plan for it. Now, the awkward thing on this map too is like long-term, are you farming for food? Are you placing mills on the extra berries? Are you going for the deer? And I think Chimera are a nice pick here because you can kind of farm anywhere. That's probably Jordan's thinking. And look at the positioning of Jordan's archer range. This is very uncommon. Typically, your military building is going to be at home, and it's like still pretty close to the enemy, right? Archer range on the back, and Jordan's horse has been patrolling around, looking around. He'll see the stable. This should come as no surprise if if his opponent is Magyars. But there's no barracks for Jordan. You're able to skip the barracks and go directly for an archer range or a stable if you want to. Maybe he will consider a barracks at home for some defense on the scouts. For now, though, the walls are going to protect his villagers from the scouts. But, like, Barles has to be confused now. He's been very thorough with the scouting. He sees the villagers are on gold. And that might tell him archers, but he doesn't actually see the location of the archers. I wonder if he still remembers his villagers over here, though, because that's a big part of this. The spearman just simply attacking a house. A house will need a new paint job later on, but that's not really anything that players will worry about. The scouts could easily deal with these archers. At least for the time being, right? Like, if 2 archers moved out, 2 scouts would kill it, no problem, especially with Magyars. But Barles has got to be confused here. Like, he's adding an archer range, expecting to need skirmishers, but he doesn't know where he should send the skirmishers. Hasn't checked the back of his base. Guys, it's like, the calls are coming from inside the house. I don't know. How many of you guys know that quote? How many of you know that movie? I'm not a big horror movie guy, but I think that came out when I was like 13. I remember walking to the local video store to rent that. So that should tell you how long ago it was. We walked there. It's like 2, maybe 3 miles in my little tiny town. Rick and Morty? That's a Rick and Morty quote? I didn't know it was I was thinking When a Stranger Calls. Maybe it started somewhere else. I don't know. There's the stable right now for Jordan, expecting the need for that against some skirms. Rick and Morty invented it? I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure Rick and Morty probably just referenced the line. Yeah. And then you never saw When a Stranger Calls. I don't watch a lot of Rick and Morty, but what I know about Rick and Morty, they reference a lot of things. Here comes villagers from Barles. Barles is trying to punish Jordan for no army right now. Barles still must be so confused. It might have honestly made him think his opponent's going fast castle right now. Right? Like, he just sees the stable. He hasn't seen anything else. I think he thinks this is a fast castle. And the archers from Jordan are going to show up. Again, the call is coming from inside the house. Barles is going to be like, where did this come from? And Barles has to react. And like we established earlier, this is not the best wood position in the first place. So this is going to be really tough for him. Having said that, under pressure, great reaction time for Barles. Only lost 2 villagers. Jordan with some good damage control here, though, will complete his tower. But the tower for Barles does accomplish keeping most of these villagers exposed for Jordan. Jordan needs to be in the houses here with Khmer. That's a big part of the Khmer. And Jordan obviously still going to have scouts. Look at Barles go over here for wood. Oh, man. He does have a spearman there to protect, though. But there's not really the army out there for Barles to go kill the archers. I think that's what he's coming home to do right now. Thus far, I really like Jordan's position. He will take care of this tower because he has more villagers inside of his tower. Plus, he did this, which is a nice little detail. He still has the archers around to threaten. There he's going to kill the spearmen. He's going to see the skirms here in the end as he wedges himself into the wood line. I actually think Jordan's scouts would have been more suited for this. So if Jordan loses this game, remember this moment. He just shot down the tower. Those villagers could have been easy snipes there. And Barles had everything to protect the wood line. But super easy for us to say, right? Much easier said than done. I'm sure every majority of people can relate to that, right? You guys watch one of my casts, watch one of my videos. You're like, wow, this game is really, really cool. That motivates me to do exactly that. And then you load into the game and you realize, oh, crap. This is way harder than I actually remembered. So back to watching again. Listen, if you feel called out by that, I didn't say names. So that is you, as you thinking that. Okay? Yeah, then the archers died of the skirms, then the scouts died of the spearmen, and then all while you were quick-walling a villager from a wolf. The game is kind of stabilized a little bit here. I would usually prefer scout and archer combination, but Jordan is producing archers from over here. So he's no longer producing archers next to his main force. Jordan's going to research forging, so that he'll be on par with the scouts from the Magyars. And then he'll also have bloodline, so his scouts are about to be stronger. And this is probably not something Barles is expecting. This is all really early in a messy game. Not something you would expect a player to have. And the way Jordan's running is making it seem to Barles like he's probably like, okay, that means he's not going to have the army I will. And I don't think Barles is going to be really checking the HP here on the scouts. Jordan just needs to run away with the archers, let everything else do the job here. And, oh, actually, had he run into the spearmen again, could he kill the spearmen? It would help him so much. The berries are actually helping Barles here because his units are able to kind of separate In the end, lots of ranged units will die. I'd prefer to be a scout over a archer or a skirmisher here. And Jordan ends up getting the clear up. So Jordan has maintained a lead in this game. He still has archers running around as well. And this could turn into just like the same thing times 2. We could see a second stable already due for Barles. Wouldn't surprise me if Jordan does that as well soon. I just feel like for Barles, it's going to be really tricky to know where to defend and what to defend from. Here, he's going to be moving forward, or I guess moving back home to defend from the archers. It does kill one of the archers there. Jordan's still microing down a villager, though. Villager gets saved. Scouts now are here as well, though. Again, these are bloodline scouts with forging from Jordan, and what a fun little build order from Jordan. The sneak archers into scouts. His defense has been excellent. And I didn't cast as much of Warlords, but I'm always watching, and Jordan's performance against Nikov, I think yesterday it was, maybe it was the day before, was so smooth in high-pressure situations. Jordan's looked amazing. And Jordan is the favorite in this series, I think on paper, but also based on how the previous rounds went for the players. I think Barles was able to get a win off of Hera, who's an amazing player, of course, but lost 3-1 in his previous round. But this is Jordan just dominating already. And it's enough where Barles could maybe feel like he's got no chance back. But for now, he's got the tower. Unfortunately, this is protecting the most inefficient woodline you'll maybe see today. I think that's a fair statement, actually, with the map pool that we're going to have. And Jordan is banking up resources now to think about the next stage. Look at the res collected here. What? Okay, see, I don't have it up all the time on screen. I think I may eventually swap that into my overlay. But I just assumed. So, I apologize. I just thought that my game sense would be there. And it clearly was not. I think resources collected should be much better for Jordan, though, especially with food, due to how many farms he has set up. And how many times Barles has to pull villagers around. Like, overall worker efficiency has been 65% for Barles. The last minute, it's been 53% because of this. These villagers have moved a lot in their life. Look at that. Too much moving there. And Jordan in Castle Age will be able to make knights. Maybe even an elephant. Like, high-level players don't usually make elephants because of the cost and how slow they are. But if you're this close, I feel like an argument for elephants could maybe be made. Barles has not clicked up yet. And is getting bullet lines for 3 scouts on the field. That is not going to be enough. And Barles might need to stay in Feudal Age forever at this rate. Thank you for the support, people on stream. As your Sentry and Evan, thank you guys for the gifted subs. Spaz says, happy to see you casting again after taking a nice break. Yeah, good to be back. Like I said, it was a little weird to, come back to Twitch and then not cast, and stream every single day. But balance is important for me. Longevity, all that good stuff. So I was able to take a couple days off. Felt good. The archers are just camping the wood line here. Jordan's truly, though, going to just play through his stable units. And the timing on the stable's perfect. Castle Age comes in, and Barles has got to be thinking, what? What on earth is this? I haven't seen enough games on Alpine to know if Khmer are seen as, the best. But I think Sneak Archers is rare enough where this is still something's kind of new, right? Villager's going to die there for Jordan, but he's on Knights now. I think that maybe this will become more common, picking the Khmer. The Scouts and Knights moving up with the Archers to the top of the hill. Barles hoping to survive now. Still isn't clicked up to Castle Age, so he needs good trades with Feudal Age units, but the trades need to be good enough to then have an army to be able to counterattack as well, because he's down in age. And I think this is just first game of the day type of feelings for Barles, as he figures I'm probably dead. But there's no way, with everything that's on the line here, I'm going to resign until I'm surely dead. And the GG's called because he realizes he is. And just crazy play there from Jordan. I mean, it's really tough for me to be critical of how Barles played this. I can't really question anything. He opened scouts with Magyars, which I think is fantastic. He scouted it and didn't see the range or anything, right? So I think in his mind, from what he saw, he could have assumed Jordan was fast castle. I can't say, dude, scout the back of your base. Who does that, right? So, no, he shouldn't have scouted the back of his base. The tower was really good, but Jordan had everything walled up. He counter-towered. He patiently pushed it away. And then Jordan was just looping in the archers at the perfect times. And then Jordan's eco was so good as well with his food to be able to get the scouts out and the upgrades. And that was just like, that is a strategy going perfectly according to plan there for Jordan. That is precisely what that is. And so he wins the first one here. And actually, guys, we're going to use the flags for the rest of the game. Sorry, again, they jumped in so quickly. But for my YouTube watchers later on, you guys are going to get the flags now, okay? So to the guy who, I'm just predicting, one person will comment something about the flag. You're going to get your flags then for the future games. Just makes things look a bit nicer here. So they're in the game already. We're in here on Arena. And it is game number 2. Looks like we've caught up to live speed. Warlords 2 is a tourney that is played on Nineville start, so it's always a bit faster as well. And we've got Bohemians and we've got the Bengalis here. Bohemians, the civilization that gets their gold mining upgrades for free in each age. They've got the chunky wagons as the unique unit. Really good gunpowder. So it's usually gunpowder, monks, and, well, maybe a couple other things later on. Maybe some pointy boys. Barles having some issues here with his animals so far. The ostrich just got left there, and now he was going to bring in his elephant. I wonder what has happened here. Was this a starting house? Okay, so you start with houses with the Nineville start, and the house is on the gold. I wonder if Barles is asking if this is an admin re. I wonder what the rules are. Because, like, you could argue you could just delete the house, but a player's going to say, I don't want to delete the house. But, honestly, the map is insane. The map is insane to have that golden stone in the back. So I think I would just play on personally. It's not that big a deal. Nasty Boys has been watching on YouTube for 3 years. Nice. Welcome into the stream. Thank you. Thank you, Hacked Panda. Thank you, The Bug. Leader Poostig. Panhandle Principal. Joshi. And Nara. I give up. Nara, thank you. But yeah, there's a pause now. That's all I really have to say. What we could talk about is the Bengalis. The Bengalis get +2 villagers from each TC in each age. So expect the Bengali player to have the villager lead with a vast castle play, which is what this will inevitably be. Really strong monks and kind of awkward options elsewhere on top of it. I will say, though, that the Bengali elephant archer can be really hard to stop. So that seems like if you're going to go for one unit, one big mass, that seems to be what the play will be as we move on here. How did your anniversary go, by the way? Thank you for asking. It was a good time. We went to a comedy show, and we stayed at a hotel where the comedy show happens for 2 days. There's a bit of a casino there, and everyone was judging us because everyone, like, big spenders on the slots and whatnot. Okay, again, don't know why there's a pause, but probably there's an issue. We were putting in $1 at a time and playing penny slots, and it was very fun. Like, probably way more fun than everyone else has that was spending way more money. I'm not a very big gambling guy, you know? The house always wins, all right? People, the house always wins. The business exists for a reason, so I just wanted to have fun with it. So we were just playing penny slots. And, you know, drinking one too many drinks, had a really bad hangover the next day. You know, it was a good time. I'm old now, dude. Like, 5 years ago, I didn't feel a hangover after a night like that. But yeah, I definitely do. So it was fun. Casinos won't be able to pry a single penny out of me to BH. Listen, I treat it like an experience, right? Like, if you go, you know, like, I don't know what you do, but let's say you enjoy to watch a movie, right? And I don't know what a movie ticket is, but let's just say the movie ticket's like $25. They're like, okay, That's 3 hours, $25. This is an experience. I buy the popcorn, I buy the drink for another 15 or 20. They're like, all right, a $50 thing. That's kind of how I treat it. It's the first time I'd gone to a casino since I was like 21. So in like 10 years, basically. So I was like, yeah, all right, we go in with this budget. We just have some fun with it. We don't expect to make anything. I think that's how you should treat it. If you treat it as a way to make money, I think that's where it gets dangerous. And this stuff's very predatory. So it can be really addicting for some people. Let's say you've subbed to T90 on Twitch for 30 months. Listen, all right? 30 months of support. If you really want to get into community games because of you subscribing, it is kind of like a really, really rigged lottery. You could look at it that way. But I'd like to think that you also are like, wow, I really appreciated that content. And I've helped make that possible. Okay, so nothing that's crazy notable here. I think players might look at the vill counts and think that this is wild. But on a 9 villager start, I think 23 pop is very doable. I did a couple testing build orders for this. This doesn't necessarily indicate Barles will have to go all in into aggressive here. Project Belgium in my chat says, hello T90, my friends told me to buy this game since I'm a big history nerd. Bought it and got obliterated online. Searched some gameplay on YouTube and found your videos. I saw you have a Twitch account and I was able to catch you live for the first time today. Keep up the streams, my man. Smiley face. Well, everyone salute Project Belgium, who's definitely here for the very first time and definitely isn't like a former top 30, top 40 player who should definitely come back and play more, and definitely isn't someone who's been saying things like this for the last 5 years of me streaming. Definitely not. But welcome Project Belgium, who's new. Also, to anyone who immediately wants to just like copy paste that and turn it into a copy pasta, low effort, all right? Low effort. We're only a high effort community. So just keep that in mind. That's all. You're so mean to new players, T90. Yeah. Belgium's a good guy. Belgium's a good guy. He's all about the people. So, I've noticed villagers have gone to stone here for Barles, guys. I think we might see some Hussite wagons. All right, Barles, he's got such a big brain. I don't even know how he could walk around and keep his head up with a brain that big. He's so smart. This is my prediction on the game. You ready? Here's my prediction. Barles is going to add Hussite wagons. Oh, great prediction. That's it. No, obviously there's more. He was going to add Hussite wagons. And Jordan is going to see the Hussite wagon and is going to have a bit of a, oh crap moment, what do I do? Jordan's Bengalis, right? Jordan is going to make monks because Bengalis make monks. And Jordan's going to feel very comfortable just clicking the redemption upgrade, which is 500 gold, to then convert the siege, which is what you have to do to convert these wagons, right? But wait a second. You make the wagons so the opponent invests 500 gold into redemption to convert the siege, but then you stop making the wagons and you just YOLO monks and get atonement to convert the other guy's monks. That's the play. The wagons are the ultimate initiative unit because it's you need to invest either siege or like monks and some upgrades to counter it. It's going to open up the opportunity for Barles to ultimately make monks. That's my guess. It also could just be a second TC into an eventual defensive castle, but he's going to be at an eco disadvantage, right? He's up against the Bengalis. Now, Jordan's going for the stable, and he's adding scouts because he's thinking about contesting for relics. I don't think he's expecting to see the Hussite wagon here. But should go without saying here, Barles losing this game would be devastating for his chances. Jordan's the favorite. Jordan's a very good player. This is the home map for Barles and a very early Civ pick for him. So he needs this to work. T90, what implications for 3 Vills start versus 9 Vills start for arena builds? What are the implications? Oh God! No, Barles! 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 What just happened? He wanted to build the buildings as part of his wall, and Jordan went whoop right in. Oh my God, that was just devastating for Barles. Oh, he lost his scout as well. Well, my prediction's ruined. My prediction on the strat, I think, was correct. I would have had to see, but oh, what a tough thing to happen here, man. That is not an implication of the 9-vill start, but more villagers will die because it's like Cav. The Loom wasn't in before, Loom is now. Wow. I feel really bad for him. I also do have to say, you just can't do that, right? Like, how many times do you think he's deleted a hole like that to place the monastery and the scouts weren't there? Probably 100 times. But I think you just need to, you need to keep your wall up. Like, there's ways to delete even this wall later on, right? Like, what you can do, guys, if you don't want this to happen, I'm going to give you a tip. You ready? Well, okay, let's talk about this, because now this is like a dead game, right? Now it's like, we'll see if it's a dead game, but it's going to be really tough. But what happens if you want to place the monastery here, guys, right next to your own wall, and then you want to delete a hole there? What is likely to happen? You could delete it, your monastery, by mistake, because you can't click the wall, right? I'm going to give you a tip. It's going to blow your minds. And everyone, even if this doesn't blow your mind, just say, ooh, ah, and just act like it helps, okay? So you place the monastery behind your wall. You get a gate, a wood gate foundation. Guys, I didn't even tell you what to do yet. Stop saying ooh and ah now. You're ruining it. You're ruining it. Okay. So, anyways, you place the monastery, you get the gate foundation, and you click the gate foundation on the other side of the wall. So that takes enough tiles, right? And then you just delete the gate foundation. You don't have to build it. And it's very easy to click the gate. So it removes the walls, and then you don't spend any resources in the end. And then you don't, I don't know, let Like have into your base. Okay. I'm sure everyone's very impressed with that. Well, Barles is in a rough spot. He's buying food for vill production. He's not investing into farms. He's got Hussite wagons. And what we had mentioned before is that Jordan would just go monks to go for redemption, and then he would just convert the wagons. He's got Lycav out here, and Lycav for Jordan going to take a nice trade there. Does actually lose the Lycav, which kind of hurts. But he did kill a monk. I think Jordan should be going for siege and also monks. Like, you have a big eco lead, so I think going for both, because it's going to be really tough for Barles to afford redemption and atonement, would make a lot of sense. But you also could just make a lot more monks. Someone said, I don't get it. Okay, but seriously, does that make sense? You place the gate foundation to delete the wall piece instead of trying to delete the walls. Trust me, it'll be helpful. It doesn't make sense. Okay, good. But I was worried that I was... Never mind. Big fight coming up. I'm too tempted to troll since I'm back on Twitch. We got to be serious. Atonement's on the way for Barles. And I think Barles saw that. Atonement's on the way for Jordan, and Barles is going to back away. So that petard had to die just for you to leave? Horrible. Second TC coming up for Jordan. Great job from Jordan to recognize, I already have the villager lead. I need army. Or holy men, you know, to defend. I don't know if they're classified as army necessarily. And monks are going to switch sides here. Everyone's favorite moment of an arena game. And Jordan's got a whole lot more monks, and his monks are armored. And Barles' monks are not armored. And this whole push is just going to die. Or actually, no, the monks will live, but they will live in harmony for the Bengalis instead. And the wagons are simply not it now. And Barles has got to be so frustrated. Like, the first game was not bad play from Barles. He did not underperform there. It was honestly as close to a perfect strategy as you could probably ask for on a map like that from Jordan. That's just what it was. And Barles came in here with a plan, which I think could have worked, but Castle was later than it could have been. Villagers obviously went down, and Jordan in the driver's seat now. I haven't casted a ton of Warlords. I feel like there's been a lot of 3-0s in this tourney. But I'm sure I missed some. But I'm hoping this isn't a 3-0. The previous series was a 3-0, and it definitely felt like going into that could have gone to a 4th or 5th game. Why so many monasteries? Well, that's the name of the game on Arena sometimes. Being stuck in these stone walls for too long makes you very religious. 17 monks for Jordan. 4 monasteries here for Barles. Now, Barles is going to go imp here. Why does this feel like Barles has a chance? Jordan's 3 TCs. He's not going to click imp here for some time, though he is making university now, which makes me think he might idle his TCs. Barles is up. Great job from Barles to still not force the issue here in Castle Age. That's really smart thinking. So then, if his monks get 12 range... Yo, okay, question for my chat. Can someone tell me if the Bengalis get heresy? Did Jordan overmake monks? Jordan's definitely going to buy food here, I think. And click imp. Yeah, so it's an offensive, so it doesn't get heresy. Okay. I could see Barles doing something here. So heresy is when your unit gets converted, it just dies, which is what you want in a monk war. I think it's still underutilized at a pro level, but players like Barles will know this stuff. So Jordan can't get heresy, which means that, yeah, he's got more monks now, but if Barles has more range on his monks, which he can get in the Imperial Age, he could steal all these monks. So for the time being, this is useless. These monks are just going to be donations to Barles. And then there's the Vil lead, obviously, for Jordan, which means he's going to make stuff. But what are you going to make? Because when it can just be converted. Peak Age of Empires, folks. Peak Age of Empires right here. We got monks and wagons. But this is Arena. And this version of Arena, players also seem a little bit closer at times, which I think has contributed to it. Now, all in light cav is the play here. I don't think Jordan thinks that Barles is still committing with this. I don't know what he thinks. But skirms, I'm not a big fan of. Oh, Jordan just slightly pisses himself a little bit after seeing many monks. It's like, hello. All right. Here we go. And this is the correct timing from Barles as well to show his wagons. Because if Jordan shows monks to try and convert, obviously we're just going to see monks come forward here from Barles to convert those monks. Forward castle from Barles. The Treb's on the way to start trebbing down everything that Jordan has. Barles is also able to get 3 relics, which I didn't touch on, because it hasn't been your normal Arena game. Now, you're at the limit with resources if you're Barles, but... yeah, again, you spend resources to create units. If you can just convert your opponent's units, all is good. Nice snipe there from Jordan, who's still making skirms. Skirms is a weird choice to me. There's no bonus damage against monks. You do have range, though, which might be part of the thinking for Jordan. Space is so important on Arena. And Barles is going to be able to mine all this stone, all this gold, and gets both mining upgrades for free with his civilization. Barles is still in this. I think, like, this is the same strat he would have done in the first place, but he was so much further behind because of what happened with the castle. I've seen Jordan pull himself out of some pretty tricky spots before, but this is not going to be easy. To me, it looks like he wants to escape now. He does not want to place a castle here because it could just be trebbed down. But look at Barles expanding with a couple monks and outposting, realizing that if Jordan were to escape, that'd be an important thing. Jordan. At Lightcap could definitely be converted. It's 2 monks. It could go either way. It does get converted. Villagers now exposed against the Lightcap, and now Barles sees it. Guys, how many times do we see players, oh my god, skirms and monks and wagons and blue dots and red dots and lots of stuff? How many times do we see players not do this? Not outpost the sides. Barles knows. Someone just said GG incoming. For who? For the player who's down 35 hills or the player who's getting castle dropped? Soon Jordan's only going to have 1 town center. And Jordan's on skirms and Jordan's on monks, but Jordan can't take gold now. His main gold was here. Jordan did complete this castle, but a trebuchet is on it right now. Crazy stuff. I do like how Jordan's just like, fine, we'll just place a mill for the food eco. That's fine. Because this mill's kind of awkward for the vills. They probably complained about it to HR. Here, you know, still mining the stone. He didn't officially leave those resources. Jordan is bringing his monks, and he is going to consider converting the treb. To convert a trebuchet, you need to be underneath it, though. That's a long way for these guys to walk. And let's see how the skirms pay off here. I criticized the skirms. I'm starting to see monks go down. Okay. Treb is still there. Jordan could maybe convert it. Jordan needs to convert it. He's still repairing the castle. A lot of the monks getting focused down by the skirms, but the castle fire, the wagons, all that stuff can help against the skirms. Just do the monks die fast enough. Jordan has to back away. Jordan took a trap. He says, thank you very much. Didn't see a price sticker on this, so I figured I could just pick it up. And he needs that treb as well. If he could use that trebuchet in defense here, it could be huge. Jordan, save the treb. Micro it. No! Loses the trebuchet. Jordan's got 17 skirms. He's going to have one treb of his own over here. But Jordan is under a lot of pressure here from Barles. That said, okay, crazy stuff. People are starting to believe in Barles. Oh my god, Barles this. Oh my god, Barles that. That's his eco, okay? It's not great. I just wanted to establish that. It's not great. And Jordan is more monks than Barles. And while this might take him closer and closer to Carpal Tunnel, he is able to get more conversions if he gets the clicks right. And he's clicked quite a few monks over to his side. The skirmishers are now coming out. Barles is down to 6 monks. And like we said before, the wagons, while it feels natural to maybe make them against skirmishers now, it's actually still going to be vulnerable against the monks. So Barles had a disastrous start. He gave himself a chance here. Jordan's being a little ambitious with some of his eco here. But Jordan ends up having the lead anyways. Great job from Jordan, man. Jordan's ability to play well under lots of pressure is insane. I feel like he's got so much better at that. He's gotten so much better at playing in messy situations the last year or two. Uh-oh, this castle was spotted. Jordan was hoping he could place this while Barles was distracted elsewhere. Barles just needed a new target for his trebs. I would have assumed that Barles would have kept his trebs here to take this out, so that's probably what Jordan thought. Villagers are getting converted. Jordan, you don't want to donate economy to the enemy. Jordan's castle here is going to go down as quickly as it went up. And that's stone that he can't, have for another castle then. There still are some relics around that maybe could be collected. Barles is on stone and gold all over here on the left. The left side has more of that, but Jordan's also on stone and gold over here. And, this is peak arena. Now, how are you going to defend from these wagons? Wagons are high pierce armor units, so skirmishers are not good against them. Lycav at least do their full attack against the Hussite wagon. And there is a crazy eco gap, but the wagons could possibly change that. And that is another distraction for Jordan to deal with. Whoa, 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 whoa! Jordan petarded in! He's broken through with skirms! Skirm raid! The funny thing is, Barles has all of his eco, his important eco out here. And Barles is going to have to re-wall this now. What a great play from both of them, though. And I love it from Jordan. I love it from Barles. We all love Arena, right? Not necessarily to play it, but to watch it? Yeah, definitely. We've got a lion going to town here. Jordan doesn't have any clue about that. And now Jordan is going to be without a town center, because the Trebs did the job there. Skirms and monks coming home, though, for Jordan. And Jordan has consistently been using Trebs to take out the castles from Barles. And that's the problem for Barles. He doesn't have the army count. He's got 10 monks and 6 wagons. And Jordan's still consistently making skirms, consistently making monks. And ultimately, he just has eco. He doesn't have as much eco, but he's had food eco. He's had lots of wood eco. He's way more than Barles ever will. And as the Lion now has worked his way up to 3 kills. Let's go! Woo, woo, woo! Well, that's happened. I think Barles is toast, and Barles now down 2 games in this series. And honestly, as much as I would love to say that his, maybe his strategy needed to be different here or different there, it's simply the biggest thing was him deleting part of his wall and letting 2 units in from Jordan, where Jordan killed 6 villagers. You are at such low eco when you do these things, right? Like, at this stage of the game, he arrives to castle, and he's at 24 vills. So if you lose 6 villagers when you're at 100, math class, come on, this is math class. What percentage of your economy is that? Come on, you could do it, okay? You lose 6 economy when you're at, okay. No, not 69%. You guys are the worst. All right, so you get it though, right? Losing 6 vills at 100 vills, not a big deal. Losing 6 vills here, brutal. And let's watch it from his perspective. Delete some walls there. Wants the monastery outside of his walls, so the pathing's a bit better. And, oh, God. Again, like, he's probably done that 100 times and the scouts never ran in. Jordan is the luckiest guy ever. And obviously, he played very well behind all of this. But this is just brutal. Jeez. Yeah. And then it gets even worse, right? Because you lose the vills. He ends up losing 1 more later. But then more villagers have to leave a task and go finish the castle. Then the army that you're set to make out of these buildings is delayed. That's the game right there. That should have been the game. He did a good job to take it to the Imperial Age, but ultimately that was it. So, well played from Jordan. Someone said Jordan did his research. I don't think he did research there. I just think he was active with the Lycav, and being active with the Lycav, obviously a very good thing for many reasons. Gets the job done. Eco counts, pretty significant there. Jordan collected 10k more resources. Look at the difference in food and wood. And the skirms were a good play. I take it back. Skirms were arguably a better play than Lycav. Very nice decision there from Jordan. I might do that myself in the future, and then I'll probably die. But, I also won't kill 6 villagers at the start of Castle Age. So that's probably a big reason. So, all right, folks, here we are. Game number 3. Look at the start from Barles here. Barles is opening with a barracks. Now, Warlords is 9 vill start. That can change what's possible because you have a bit more eco to work with. Usually what that means is on a standard lands map, players are just going for as fast a feudal age as possible. That's usually what we're seeing, especially on a map like this, which is so dominated by archers and scouts. But it's early barracks from Barles, and he is making a spearman in the Dark Age. So, in case you missed it, Armenians can make their infantry units and age earlier, with the exception of man-at-arms. So you can't go for a Dark Age man-at-arm rush. I never thought someone would go Dark Age spearman. Now, he's going to need to save up the food and the wood for the mule cart, which is their version of a mining camp or a lumber camp. It does both, though. So I could see that being difficult for him, but yeah, he just added 2 spears. Instead of making militia, which would cost food and gold, you could make the spearman here. It does kind of make sense. It still could help out against some villagers, we'll see. I was expecting if anyone was going to add the barracks, it might be Lithuanians, because they have the extra food. You could just chop the straggler trees and add the barracks and do a similar thing with militia. And Jordan might have an idea something is up. Because if the ostrich were getting shot down by a villager, you would still see the bodies there and you could still take it. But if a military unit kills it, then that's something different. Nice job there from Barles. The goat goes down to the TC, which is unfortunate for Jordan. I'm sure he wanted to save that. And Barles is looking for the wood line now because he knows where the wood is on this map. Looking around, not seeing it, but Jordan knew that there was some trouble out there and already prepped some walls. So I'm just concerned. Oh, Jordan should know where the opponent's TC is as well. You know, I'm concerned that for Barles, this isn't enough of a payoff. I'm really excited to see it, though. Like, the thing I'm thinking is you're going to be up the feudal age a minute and a half? 2 minutes later? What if Jordan just goes archers now? Like, this has opened up that opportunity for Jordan. I think otherwise Jordan would have maybe considered going scouts or something like that. I like the scouting and the activity here from Barles. I like the fact we've seen something new. Jordan's up 2-0 here in this series, though. And what, he lost 100 food because he shot it with his TC? He started with an extra 100 food. This should still feel pretty comfortable for him. Barles still hasn't clicked up. Okay, here's an underrated strategy that Barles needs to do now, but no pro player will ever do for some reason. You freaking YOLO walls down with 3 villagers here. If you wall this, the archers have to walk around, and I think that buys you a decent amount of time. Again, though, that's not something I would ever expect Barles to actually do. And there he is on the way to feudal age. Yes, he has very clean economy. Yes, he'll have lots of resources when he gets there. But momentum will be there for Jordan. And Jordan's going to go for that range. This might honestly just be spearmen and skirmishers. But oftentimes what you'll see is the villagers that go to gold. That build the archer range are going to end up going to gold. Yeah, guys, if you hear background noise, it's likely my fan that's above my head. I could turn it off, but I'm just going to have to pretend it's not there for now. We have a weird issue right now. I have yet to reconnect all my wires and all that stuff. But yeah, my mods addressed it, so I'll address it myself. We are all your fans? Well, hopefully you're not above my head. I looked. No one's up there. We're good. The spearman's on the way. So speedy spearman with the Lithuanians. And Jordan's like, let me show you what my spears can do. And again, like, very relaxed from Jordan, right? Jordan just has such a calculated look to his play. It's always really impressive. And Armenians, I feel as though the Armenian eco's solid. I feel like their unique unit's kind of situational, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I don't think we're going to get to it here. What you think about the Armenians is really their infantry, like their man-at-arms and their longswords. Like, you can go longswords and feudal. That would feel like maybe the play against trash units, but that's so awkward to get to. And Jordan has just been on a tear today. Blocking with the spearmen and the scouts. Doink! Gets the kill there. Very impressive stuff. And the spearman addition didn't necessarily feel worth it for me to accomplish what it accomplished. But that's also because Jordan just looks so calm behind all this. No overreactions whatsoever. So Barles, fortunately for him, still has his berries here. He was just being a little bit greedy, trying to get some extra hunt out there. And Jordan's not really able to do a lot of damage where he wants to now, so he's going to loop around. Again, he's speedy with the Lithuanians, so this could be a doable thing for him. And so I think Barles must sense that. Barles is just going to be making his own skirmishers. Armenians are still new, but I don't think they have any skirmisher or spearman bonuses that I'm unaware of. Like, I guess you could get pikemen in feudal. Yeah, that's a possibility, but that wouldn't necessarily feel worth it right now, and the resources aren't there either. Res collected at the moment. Pretty similar stuff, so that's good. Close game in that regard. Jordan's killed 2 units. Has lost 0. He's got the faster skirms, though, right? And the spearmen are obviously going to go down to these skirms. The scout gets pulled in here from Barles, though. That's the one unit he does have to push back the skirmishers here. But he has to get away because the spearmen have arrived. And Jordan has not lost a unit yet. Crazy. And it's just a trash war, people. This is like if, 2005's medium AI faced up against the 2005 medium AI. This is what you would have seen. Because I'm sure you guys watched a lot of that. Villager does not get saved there. That's 7-0 KD. Now, Jordan, you're German, so I feel like it'd be natural to make it 7-1. Yep, there we go. For a second, it was 7-1. We just lost a Brazilian audience. I'm sorry, but it's now 9-3, so there might be some other reference that you can think of that's not quite as sad. Don't worry. Don't get upset. I'm American, all right? Our team sucks, all right? Our team sucks. So I can make that joke. This feels so brutal for Barles at the moment. Oh, no. A tower's going up over here. It's not going to fully... Actually, I think you could argue this tower's a waste. Initially, I was going to say it's not going to fully deny the wood line, but the Armenians can just wheel their mule to the side. And now that tower... I guess it just controls the area, but... Please don't come to Brazil. What, is that a threat? I got lots of fun, good friends and fans in Brazil, or so I thought. Too easy of a joke to make, I apologize. Just like anytime anyone makes a joke about America, it's like, her, cheeseburger, her, gun, her. You know, we all have easy jokes to make. It's all good. It's all good time. Farm eco looks pretty good for Barles here, I must say, and the spears and skirms are ultimately not going to end the game, right? It is going to give advantages for later stages of the game, but I don't think it's going to ever end the game in Feudal Age, not in a game like this. And Jordan might be a little bit frustrated with himself because he has lost more skirmishes than at least I was expecting. But he's now using that very weak scout there, and he is going to see the villagers on gold. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're all so thrilled with my humor, but we see militia being made from Barles right now. This feels like a second barracks time. All the way up to Longsword and Feudal Age, baby. You're up against trash units. You're the Armenians. You're down 2 games. The people want it. The people are going to get it. There's man-at-arms. I feel like you need a second barracks, though. Now, yeah, just man-at-arms is still good against skirms, but if you can get Longsword in Feudal, could be viable. Also, Piggy Platypus, I like it. It says, men at Armenians. Men at Armenians. How do we do that with longswords? I don't know, but longsword upgrade's on the way here, people. Not sure Jordan necessarily senses it, right? Because it could always be like up to Castle Age and Knights, which would be what would happen if we didn't have the Armenians, most likely. Now, this is upgrading 2 units here. So, I don't know if that's necessarily going to pay off right away. Also, a couple archers being out from Jordan can help. The vulnerability's still there for longswordsmen. Yes, it's a Castle Age unit. Yes, it has more HP and more attack, but it's still slow. It's still vulnerable against range. A couple walls happening here. And Jordan should be able to get the walls down. And Jordan sees it as well. There will be no surprises here. Also, no supplies. I'm not sure if Armenians get supplies. I would assume that they do. That would make the infantry cost a bit cheaper. If you're going to make a lot of them, I think that supplies would make sense. But that also wastes more time. And then the attack doesn't happen as quickly. So that's what is going on in the players' minds. And Jordan will know his opponent is spending food and spending gold on these units here. And so he will feel as though, as long as he just holds, is able to bank up some resources to maybe make some knights, maybe make a castle, he could defend. But a castle's still a long way away here. Jordan with some nice patience against the aggression. Barles has 7 longswords. That's it. He probably feels like he hasn't done enough damage yet. Jordan's done so good. It's like if the units attack the walls, he's got the archers, which means Barles had to wait for skirms. And then what does Jordan do? He backs away. Meanwhile, Jordan over here still trying to micro. Still trying to defend. Yeah, the front of Jordan's base is the most vulnerable. I actually want to see Barles' tower here. And make it less easy. And make it more difficult for Jordan to defend the area when the longswords attack. Because the longswords need to bust down some buildings here, it feels like. This is a lot of pressure, man. This is a lot of pressure. Barles is going to click up to Castle Age. He forced a tower there, at least. He's got nice value from his skirms. There he's attacking the market now, which feels like a very valuable unit for building for Jordan. And guys, Jordan doesn't have a stable. So he can't make knights, which would feel like the natural play in the next stage. Jordan's completely been thrown for a loop here. The skirmishers are going to go under. which means the archers could die. Quick walling from Jordan, but this is so much pressure all the time. Beautiful play, though, from Jordan to keep these skirmishers away. Jordan's going to go for the crossbow upgrade. Feels natural. Still not enough stone for a castle, and still very far away from that. And what has Barles had over the last few minutes? He's had lots of map control. His eco's been untouched. He's able to move around. Efficiently move the mule carts. Look at that. We caught him doing it. More efficiency. Doesn't have to rebuild one like other players do. Like other civs do, rather. Jordan, though, advancing forward. And Jordan will see the longswords. Tower coming up from Barles. Feels like he will have to sacrifice army to get the tower up. Yeah, sometimes you'll see players like engage there because they're worried the tower won't go up. Tower was fine. Jordan ultimately kind of fine as well. I mean, crossbow feels like a very nice decision. Jordan deletes a whole row of houses there. Did that feel wrong to everyone else? I don't know. That made me a little sad. I get he wants a TC, but I feel like I would not have felt comfortable deleting that many houses. But he wants a wood line. He can't go this way, and you also can't build in this area, so it kind of makes sense. Yeah, he still has pop space, so I think it's completely fine. But to me, that would feel wrong in the moment. But maybe I just have too much respect for where people live. Crossbows looping around this way. Vodkin arrows in. Barles must be wondering where these crossbowmen are. And they are there, Barles. And they have killed 3 villagers. Luckily, again, you can just go whoop and move, but now you've got the tower on this side and the potential of the crossbows on this side. So wood control is not so good for Barles. Jordan's still thinking about an eventual castle. He's done a great job here, though. This falls into the category, again, of Jordan just playing really well. I don't think Barles has made many massive mistakes. He's on elite skirm. Elite skirm to defend from this will be perfect. Jordan finds another villager pick. Barles was leaving, but wasn't able to leave with everything. And crossbow's still moving around here. This tower, a really annoying thing for Barles, so he went to going for the house, but they're so close together here, and Jordan sees that as he continues to move around. Feels like siege could be needed for both. Jordan already has siege with scorpions. And there were some skirmishers here attacking, even killed a villager. Well played there from Barles. Jordan could lose all his crossbows here. He could be looking at home, and he might not realize the TC is there. Wow, great reaction. Really nice reaction from him. And Barles has got to be confused. Barles was going to patrol this way. He's probably not expecting Jordan to go in here. And who would, right? Like, I know I wouldn't. But Jordan might have expected Barles to be over there. And now this is open. I mean, he's still going to take some losses here, but again, just so much time and control here for Jordan, who's up 2 games. It does start to lose his crossbows right after I say that, but that's because he's looking here, and that castle could even be more aggressive. I think this is just because Jordan isn't a very forward castle type of guy. Clearly, he hasn't been doing any training games with doubt with this low-risk castle, but if this castle goes up, that means this gold is pretty much useless for Barles. It cannot be taken, not easily. And Jordan probably feels like he has the lead, so why take the risk, T90? That's what he's thinking. Vodkin arrows in, too, so it'll range to about here, which means Barles can't be taking that gold. And now, as we still have this weird little skirmisher longsword army, now Latis come out. And Latis are a perfect counter to skirms and a perfect counter to longswords, which then makes monks the most important unit for Barles. He does have a fortified church over here. And this is where some of his wood income is. But yeah. 70 villagers versus 54. Army, I think long-term could be better for Jordan as well. I think Jordan's in a great position now. See what Barles could do to bring it back. Should Armenian champs get a discount similar to Burgundians get on their early ecotech? No, they shouldn't get access to longswords in feudal age and also a discount. That's crazy. Don't give the devs ideas. I think it's fine. It's just a situational thing. Like, there's been situations. It's still kind of new. But there's been situations where it's been shown to be really, really strong. Keep in mind that longsword upgrade got cheaper over the last year or two. The amount of time it takes to research got faster. So there's been a lot of indirect changes that would affect that too. So Dravidians already have the cheaper barrack technologies as well. That's a fair point. I think it's good. I just think I'm not sure the strategy necessarily paid off thus far here for Barles. But how much of this is just Jordan being so smooth under pressure? Castle at 45% for Barles. He is going to make a warrior priest. So warrior priest is going to be on the way out of the monastery here. And they can fight. They cannot convert. They can also pick up relics. So warrior priest could potentially be helpful. But for now, this is a doubt castle. We still have the doubt emote. The Lord has blessed us, but I almost hope that he doesn't because I want more games from this series. And you see, the monk can convert, the warrior priest cannot. So, warrior priest gets killed off. Monk here getting attacked by the scorpion. Nice moves for an old man. Maybe there's a chance for this castle to go up. Monk goes down, though. Uh-oh, siege. Siege needs to survive for Jordan. It does survive for Jordan. Oh, no! Barles! No, 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 another monk. You can garrison your monks and warrior priests and villagers inside of the fortified church with their minions. Feels like the castle will eventually go up. And thankfully for Barles, it does. And he can even mine more stone here as well, so this could be awkward for Jordan. I think Jordan needs to start really using his middle position after this castle goes up. Like, the Armenians are going to make... If they're going to make anything out of their castle, it would be the composite bowman, which I think is still kind of... It takes time to mass, right? The cool thing about the composite bowman is that it ignores all armor. So it's really good against, like, high armored units. But it is still a low attack, low range, and takes time to mass them. We're going to see Barles go pikeman instead. Honestly, like, it really feels like Barles has done a good job in some ways because Jordan hasn't been able to really pressure him here. Having said that, though, Jordan just clicked imp. Oh, my goodness. That's so impressive. Jordan's playing amazing, guys. I don't know who he's going to play in the quarterfinal if he wins the series. But Jordan is really playing smooth right now. And here's the problem. You are building up towards pike to defend from the latest. You build a defensive castle to protect from raids and to get the gold back. And your opponent's going to be an imp and can just treb everything down. Like, the order in which Jordan has done things here, it's like he defended. He then got ahead, stayed ahead, transitioned into the next thing. It's like he's been 1.5 steps ahead ever since... Well, early Castle Age especially. And he's made it look really easy. Like, how many people would just get more Latus upgrades, get bloodlines, get armor, and just play in towards Latus when your opponent's on longswords and skirms? You can't see me right now, but I'm raising my hand. Because that feels natural. 3 relics. Just make Latus and stay in Castle Age. That's what so many players do, but that could arguably have been less effective. He's able to use the Latus that he has had to raid enough. And poor Barles, man. It looks like he might be crashing out. The event itself is a top 16 event, right? He won 2 sets. He lost 2. He's had good performances. Wouldn't be the worst performing player in the top 16 here in Warlords 2, but I felt like Jordan was the favorite today. I would have said Jordan maybe 3-1. And maybe that one that I'd predicted could have been the previous game if Barles wouldn't have had that unfortunate mishap in the arena game. But yeah, we just have chemistry on the way now for Jordan as he starts to add archer ranges, thinking about hand cannons, which is great against the pikes. Could also continue to make skirms, of course. Can always continue to make Latus once his castles make enough trebs to take down the castles from Barles. So, yeah. Barles beat Hera T90. I thought he lost to Hera 3-1. Am I crazy? I thought he won 1 game against Hera. I know Barles beat other players. I don't remember exactly who he played though. And Barles will lose this castle. He's already having population space problems. I think Barles right now recognizes there's no way I can go imp, so I'll die if I wait. So he's going to try rams and pikes here. And look at Jordan with hill forts. Extra range on the TCs, baby. Okay, so he did lose to Hera. That's what I thought. But yeah, like, Barles is a top 16 player. Barles has been amazing. In TTL, he was top 12. Right? He lost to Yo in the round of 12, I think it was. No, he was top 8 in TTL, actually. So I forget where this would put him if he were to lose this. He's not, like... He doesn't fall into the 15th or 16th place. I think he ends up being something else. Like, maybe, like, 12th or 11th or something along those lines, but... Here we go. Halbs in the Castle Age! How soon we forgot! Halbs in Castle Age actually gives us so much more potential. Halberdiers, let's go! And then, unfortunately, there's going to be hand cannons already. Jordan also prepped the gates a couple minutes ago, so he knew, hey, you're going to come ram push me? I see that Siege Workshop. I know I'm ahead. I'm ready for you here, pal. Is still not going to be out of the question for Barles to push some of this back, though. It's really awkward for Jordan to engage. All the range units could be targeting the rams, and they don't do too much damage against the rams. So, potential clear up here for Jordan. If he gets it, obviously, he will probably win this game. I tried to get real positive there for you. Again, really well played from Jordan. Barles even had petards. Like, he was adding in everything he could think of. But Jordan wins 3-0 here in this best-of-5 decider. Jordan will move into the quarters. And, you know, unfortunately, just another 3-0. You know, it's disappointing. Not really what you want from... Well, the casters don't want that. You know, the players probably... Jordan will be happy with it. Viewers probably don't want that as well. But just 3 very smooth, relaxed, well-executed games from Jordan. It has to be said. And I remember thinking about the strategy from Barles, the early Spearman. I don't really think that gave him momentum. Like, typically, it's one player starts with this, with strategy A, okay? And then strategy A forces a reaction from the opponent, and then you move on to strategy B before them. But if anything, it felt like this Spearman in Dark Age just meant he was later to Feudal, and then gave Jordan the momentum. Now, one could argue maybe the Lithuanians have the momentum anyways, maybe Jordan was going to get the momentum, maybe the Spearman was an attempt to stop that, but it just didn't feel like it clicked for me. Maybe felt like he had to try something new. Jordan collected more of every single resource, though, and congratulations to him. Super smooth series. Can't really be too critical of any decisions he made. Was lucky in game number 2 with the arena game, but even still had to fight for it, so... But again, like, I think Barles is getting better as a player, and I think 2024 is going to be even slightly stronger for him, too. So I think... Feels weird, because I don't think I personally covered any of the earlier Barles rounds, but he still had some really nice results in this tourney. So he shouldn't be too disappointed with himself. Qualifying was a big thing, and then delivering as he did. Also a big thing for him.